minute. Who are you?
I'm Andweli, and you are tuned into Vibing with Andweli. Keep watching. Welcome, people. Welcome back to part 2 of this video. Right, so since posting part 1, I got a few extra questions and I realized that there were some things that I forgot. So, start then, boom, we're gonna make part 2. Alright, so keep watching. Let's go. Alright, so the first thing that I want to talk about is lesson planning. So in Jamaica, from my previous school that I did TP and so forth, I know that teachers are required to write. Well, I had to write daily lesson plans. I know some write weekly, some write bi-weekly. But up here, from my school, I'm required to write a weekly lesson plan. And it's not really anything difficult, right? The main thing is to have the objectives, and they will ask you the procedure. What are you going to do in your class? Your debriefing, which would be the exit ticket or whatever that you'll do at the end of the class and so forth. So it's nothing hard. So do that, submit it by Monday morning. For some schools, I remember talking to a friend of mine, she's at a middle school, and she says that their school has coaches that comes in and pretty much, I think, assist them with writing the lesson plan or write the lesson plan for them. So they have that level of assistance. I don't have that. I'm not that fortunate, right, to have to write my own lesson plan. But it's not as taxing as when I was in Jamaica, when I was at my school, the school that I was teaching in Jamaica. It's not that taxing, right? You just write the things, send it to your whoever is in charge of you, right? And you just do your thing. There are times, many weeks that what I plan to do for the entire week, you know how it goes already, that have to change and end up do a complete different thing. Yeah, whatever. So yeah. As it relates to the teaching here, they follow a model that is similar to the 5E. So it's called a workshop model, and there's another one called MTTS. I will look for the right name and put it somewhere on the screen because I don't remember it right now. So these, I think they're very new to this school, right? But it's very similar to the 5E, right? Whereas, you would have your engagement, so start our warm-up activity, then you would, explore the topic, teach something new for about 15 to 20 minutes, then the remainder of the time you would use that for small group conferencing, where you pick out students, have them at a table. You're required to have an area to do small group conferencing. So I have a table at the back of my class with some chairs that I go around there, and I pick students who need assistance and help them with the whiteboard and so forth, right? So that's an option. Or the students do independent working or work on something by themselves or something, right? And then you would debrief where you give them an exit ticket or something of that sort. So that, in a sense, that is how we're expected to do our lessons. It can be difficult at times, but after a while you get a hang of it, right? And it all depends on the students. If you have students who cooperate, then things will go well and you'll have a great time. If you have students who are not interested, who don't want to do the work, then that's where the headache comes in. So let me also just give another look or run through of the classroom. So before I came in here, it was an English classroom, and the teacher took out everything. So for the past couple of months, I am the one who has been putting up all of these stuff. Right, so yeah, if you represent Jamaica, you know the thing already. And my seating, I've been doing some peers grouping. Yeah, every classroom has a desktop, smart board, teacher's area, and so forth. So, yeah, man. So this, as I had said earlier, this is my corner that I do my small group conferencing. So I bring students here and try to explain if they don't understand. And let's just go outside. So this is the corridor. So that is how outside looks, the lockers. Students don't really use them anyways. Some persons do, some persons don't. So lockers, and it's like a L. So this is one side, and then around the corner there's the other side. The assistant principal is in the middle of each floor, right? So again, if there's any problem, you would send the students there and they will, deal with the matter. Yeah. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about is work hours. So for my school, I know that there are some schools. I have a friend who is elementary, and also one of the middle schools. They start a bit early, like 7 something, and then ends at like 3 somewhere there. But for my school, it starts at 8 o'clock, and we are not able to leave until 4 o'clock. So school ends. So students, the buses start loading at 3:45, but teachers are not allowed to clock out until 4 o'clock. And also, let me just point out that it's not like in Jamaica, you would get a 1 or 2 day to do parent-teacher conferencing and to distribute reports and something. Those things don't happen here. It is in the evenings. So you would teach from 8 to 4, and then better believe that by 5:30, you will have to stay here and parent conference from 5:30 to maybe about from 4:30 to about 7 o'clock or 6:30. All right, so, and if that's the same thing for open house, so if they're having open house or parent teachers conference, it's after school, so you have to teach and then stay here and wait for the parents to come and interact with parents, and then go home to prepare for the next day. So that's taxing, but that just happens maybe once a month sometimes. All right. Extracurricular activity, I don't think the students are really that involved as the students at Jamaica. So their clubs, right? That meet like in the morning from 8 to 8:30. So the first class starts at 8:30. So between 8 o'clock to 8:30, there are clubs that meet then and then meet after school at 3:45, right? So yeah, there are some clubs there. I've never been to a club, sadly, which is not good. So I can't really speak much on that. And also training, how it goes already. A good amount of the students are more involved in sports. So there are a lot of sports activities, track and field when it's that season, American football, soccer, basketball and so forth. So you have conditioning and you would have, that season where they train and all of that. So yeah, so those are extracurricular activities. Don't really have much to say on that as it relates to the next thing is professional development. So professional development, before I talk about that, let's talk about holidays. So I actually got this question the other day, that was Ash Wednesday. Schools would normally give teachers and students the Ash Wednesday, the Thursday and the Friday, and then school resumes on a Monday. America don't do them something there. So most, if not all of their holidays are either on a Friday or a Monday, and it was strategically done. Persons just get an extended weekend. So let's say President Day was the other day, and the district graciously gave us the Friday and the Monday, but they took it back because we had PD on President's Day, so we had to come to school. So it was just white day still. But so far, all of the holidays that I have experienced is just a one day. So holiday Monday, Tuesday morning, back to school, regular programming. That's it. So we don't get no 3 extended day like 3 day. So far, the longest holiday that I received was Thanksgiving, which was we got Thursday, Friday. I think it was Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't think it was about 3 or 2 days. And spring break is coming up in April, where we get 1 week. That's it. Every other holiday is a 1 day, 2, occasionally 2, right? So that's a big difference. As it relates to PD now, so last semester, when we got 2 days, they took one of the days and we had to go to PE, and they did the same thing the other day, where we got 2 days, and one of those days we had to come to school. So students would stay home, but teachers would have to come here and either work in your room and do different sessions and so forth. Yeah, that's it. So it's a mandate where you have to attend it. If you don't attend it at this school, you have to attend it at another school or something like that, and you get certificate and so forth. And I think we need to, I don't know how it goes, but it will come in handy later on, because you have to get certification from South Carolina, and there are certain things that you need to have in order for you to be recertified as a teacher. Yeah. Lunchtime, as I said in the past video, it was, for my school, it's 25 minutes. I know for middle school especially, teachers have to bring the students to the cafeteria and stay with them and then bring them back to their room. Thank God, I don't have to do that, right? So, seeing that I'm on the 3rd floor, which is the last lunch period, last semester I had a class for 3rd block, and then I would just release them until they would go for lunch, and then they would go to their 4th block after the 25 minutes is up, right? So it's 25 minutes, so it's just cut and swallow. If you prepare food, you can prepare any 5-course meal. You have to ensure that whatever you are preparing, it can be eaten in at least 10 minutes, and sometimes, in 10 minutes. Teacher attire. So it's not like Jamaica. It's no dressing up. If you want to dress up, I guess I've seen colleagues up here who, males I'm talking about, who dress up in, their tie and so forth. But I've never done that. I brought up several ties, and I've only worn maybe 2 of them. Worn them twice, and it was to church. And even at church, when I wore it, I felt like I overdressed, because nobody have one tie except for the old man there or the pastor, right? So tie is not really the whole formal dressing jacket. Well, yeah, maybe a jacket, but like a 3-piece suit and them something there, especially for school. Don't do this thing. So this is me. This is what I have on. Yeah, and sometimes I wear a short sleeve shirt. I have my long sleeve shirts. I wear those, but without a tie. And even sometimes I have students coming to me and ask me, why am I so dressed? Why am I dressed up so much?
Sir, why are you dressed up like that?
I'm overdressing, they say, and all of that. And to me, that's just semi-formal, because I don't have on any tie and all of that. But just having on a long sleeve shirt, they think that's overdressing. But yeah, the attire, it depends on the school. I guess my school, we can't really wear jeans that often unless the principal tells us to do so, right? It's mainly on a Friday, or if like there was an exhausting day, she might come on and say, today was exhausting, so feel free to wear appropriate jeans and a school shirt, right? So she will do that. Like this week, the team, our basketball team, went to the finals for the first in years. So she graciously our principal graciously gave us the opportunity to wear jeans all week, right? So that's why I would wear this nonetheless. I wear this with a dress pants. But the females, you know, they wear the pants, and you know, that's the bell again. For females, they would wear the, you know, their dress pants. I don't think skirt. I don't really see people in skirt. I can't recall seeing anybody in skirt. Mainly pants, and you know, appropriate, you know, dress. You know, they would dress, but no overly dress in a, you know, any. You know, I can't really comment on that, but they just dress comfortably. Especially the shoes need to be comfortable because you'll be on your feet, and if you're not in a comfortable shoes, then your feet are going to kill you. So one of the most shocking thing for me was seeing, you know, my first week seeing students. So as I said in the previous video, it's like those TV shows that you watch. As I said, they wear anything that they want to wear. They're okay to be who they are, right? So they have different type of persons that you have to respect that too. You have to call them by their preferred name, right? I remember that's a big thing here, that, you know, if they some students don't like their real name, and they like, let's say that their name is John Doe, but they like to be called Froggy, right? So you have to try to remember, even though that their name is John Doe, to not to call them John Doe because they don't like it, and call them Froggy. So there, you know, there's a variety. It's a public school, so you see a variation of different set of people, right? You know, different races. As it relates to the races, I would say that for my school, it's maybe about half of the population is, you know, dark-skinned, and maybe a quarter is Caucasian, and the rest would be Hispanic, Asian, etc., etc. That ethnic group, yeah. But yeah, you have to call them by their preferred name and their preferred pronoun. Try to get that right, and you're also advised not to really enforce. So they don't do devotions like in Jamaica. No devotions, nothing like that. No prayer, nothing like that, because, you know, we're respectful of person's religion and so forth. As I was saying, you know, it was very shocking, especially seeing, you know, students with the, you know, all decked out, because in Jamaica they would be in uniform, so you would not be able to, and there are certain rules, there are a whole lot of rules that they have to follow, so certain things you will not see, but, you know, those rules are not they are non-existent here, so they do anything. So they would come well prepared, don't have their books or pencil, but believe that they are going to have their lashes, their AirPods, weaves are going to be done, piercings, whole lot of piercings, you know, tattoo, especially these young. I was shook at the first day when I was giving out, you know, schedules and so forth, and I saw some little young students who, like, they have more tattoos than even adults, right? It is what it is. It's a norm. So it's something that I had to get used to, accustomed to see, right? Even today, student came, one of my freshmen, and she did her tattoo. She got a tattoo, and she, you know, wanted everybody to know that she got a tattoo. So it's, though some of these things are like common here, some things that you not really see that common in Jamaica is common. Yeah, persons would have tattoos in Jamaica, but, you know, you would be hidden. But yeah, anyways, it's not a big deal though. It is what it is. So it's just something that, you know, you just have to become accustomed to. And also smoking is another thing. They love to vape. Vaping is something that is very frequent, and, you know, smoking other stuff, but mainly the vaping, right? So I had to become accustomed to the fragrance of smoke. You know, that is the perfume of some students. Ganja, smoke, yeah, smoke, that smoking scent. And, you know, I remember even one time I had a block that every time that block ended, My room was perfumed with the smell. It was saturated with the scent of, marijuana or whatever, tobacco. I don't know what it was, but when you step through that door, chances are you might get to feel a little high, But it is what it is. So they're not allowed to do it, but they still bring it. They're police officers who patrol and, are on the school grounds, and if they catch you with it, they will take it away and so forth. But these kids, they are addicted, man. Everybody's addicted, right? Everybody vapes. Everybody, it's the norm, I guess. With that said, let me talk about the administration. So in Jamaica, you would have your principal, and then you would have maybe a 2 vice principal, one for upper school, one for lower school. For my school, you have the principal, and then you have assistant principals. So each floor gets maybe 1 or 2 assistant principals, and the assistant principals are the one who you send students to. When they misbehave, you refer them to the assistant principal, and the assistant principals will, issue a suspension, in-house suspension or out-of-school suspension, and also they're the one who deals with most matters. I don't think that the principal is really the head of the school per se, but the district or the district office is the one who give all the mandates. So tells the schools that, all right, then holidays this time, or you need to do a PD this time, or no school is going to keep, we're going to start school late. The district is the one. So if there's anything, the principal have to go to the district and seek permission first. Say like at Jamaica, the principal might come and say, all right, then boom, we're not keeping school tomorrow. Half day school tomorrow, that's not how it is. The district is the one who is in charge of all of the schools and gives the instructions to the principals, and then they will follow suit. However, but the assistant principals are the one who deals with most of the day-to-day operations, and they're the ones who you would interact with. And you would send the students to, if those persons who have tardies or those persons who are misbehaving, you would send them to them, and they will deal with the matter. The admin, punishment and consequences. So as I say, this is America. It's free. Everybody believe in that free mindset that I can do anything I want. So, it's not like Jamaica. Again, there's not a whole lot of rules. I think the rules are the main thing why some, there's not certain things don't really happen in Jamaican schools. But students feel very entitled, right? So they will act out, and there are some young Karens that you will encounter. There are some good students who will do their work and very respectful, but there are some who, I think it's maybe because of their background, that they're just disrespectful. Because I guess that is how they're accustomed to speaking to persons who are around them, and they don't even realize that, look, this is a teacher, this is an adult, this is a professional, this is not the way that you deal with a matter. So some things that they will do, they will just do it and don't even think about it, right? You will have those kids who, try to be disrespectful and all of that. But you have to work that out and try to, somehow build a relationship with them. Calling parents is one key thing. That's something that all schools enforce and want you to do. So as soon as a kid starts to act out, as soon as they're not doing any work, they require that you call home and keep in dialogue, build a relationship with the parent or the guardian, and before referring them to admit, because especially for my school, the administration, they're going to, when you refer a student who is out of line, the first thing they're going to ask if you as a teacher contact home and have you spoken to a parent, right? So that's the first thing that you need to do. Try to reach out to a parent, speak to them. If you don't get through to them, then that's fine, but just know that you make a record to say that, boom, I reached out to this parent and so forth. So there was one thing that I forgot to talk about, and that is in the classroom. Unlike Jamaica, that you would have a special school for students who are, have challenges, educational challenges, who are a bit slower, there's a particular school, right? But that's not the case here. So everyone comes to high school, everyone goes through the same system and they move them up, but they have an IEP. So IEP, what does that mean again? I don't remember what IEP again. I'll post it on the screen because I don't remember what it means. But IEP or accommodation is done by the special education teacher, right? So the special education teacher does meetings, so they do meetings with the parents and different stakeholders and try to see where the students are at. And then each teacher, they would have to go through the same classes just as the regular students, but there are certain accommodations. So either it's preferential seating, so sitting at the front, or extended time for tests and quizzes, or small group testing and so forth. So you have to accommodate and you have to deal with those students in your class with your regular students, which is somewhat difficult, but that is one difference. So there's no separate school, it's the same for everyone. Yeah, so I think I've spoken about a whole lot of stuff, and I feel like there are more stuff that I might still be missing to speak about, but no problem, we can always make another video. So thank you again for sitting down. If you went through and you listened to everything that I had to say, right, I appreciate it. And remember, before you click off, remember to like, share and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Goodbye.